Hello everyone and welcome back to another OPTC Cruise video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new treasure map versus the elite performers, and this video is mainly meant to show you the replacements I made in the compared to the initial team. So I did make a few changes after testing out the teams because there were a few minor errors that needed to be resolved. So these are the final speed teams that I will be using. I also implemented some changes to the final boss team in addition to the mini boss teams, so make sure you pay attention to this before you test the teams out for yourself, because there will be slight differentiations from what they were intended to do. So let's see what we can do in this treasure map. I'll go straight to the first mini boss and then we can discuss what changes I've made. Okay, so the first mini boss is against Sasaki, and this team, the only thing I changed was I changed out the free-to-play Luffy for Stampede Luffy. Now the reason for that being is if your Captain Ace is not level 1 break 3 and expanded, you don't have enough cooldown for Ace's special to be ready on stage 1. So we need another way to wave clear, and that being Stampede Luffy. Stampede Luffy is also really nice because we need that support of Rayleigh for paralysis reduction on the final stage. Then on stage 2 we can use Kikinojo and Izo. Also, another reason why we're not using Ace to wave clear on stage 1 is because having both of the Aces available on the final stage is going to be very nice at later nav levels, because it will allow you to get an additional color affinity boost. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so for page 1, so this is the first mini boss, and for this team I did make a bit of a change. So we changed out the we basically changed the bottom row units. We've kept the Toki unit as well as the kid-in-law. We've removed the waifu support from the kid-in-law. It is not necessary anymore. Instead, we are using Zoro on stage 1 to wave clear and give us -1 cooldown to allow our Toki as well as kid-in-law to be ready on stage 2. We have Shirahoshi there because she's going to allow us to get a full board of matching orbs, and also she is an int unit allowing us to use the Germa ship so that we can get an extra turn of cooldown from the ship. So we get -2 cooldown from the ship, which is what allows us to be ready on stage 2 with our Toki as well as kid-in-law. Then on the final stage we have matching orbs, a 3.5x attack and orb boost, a bunch of chain buffs, and then you can just tap a good start the chain at 3x, and then you can let the resilience get knocked out with the kid-in-law end of turn damage. So kid-in-law is very nice for not only very fast wave clear on stage 2, but chain buffs and also getting around the resilience. So very strong team. You can add VV support onto Yamato and use her special, not only for more chain but also for the 1.3x color affinity if you do need it. Next mini boss is going to be Ulti and Black Maria. So for this team I did change out the X-Drake unit on the bottom right slot for the chopper, and unfortunately this isn't a very accessible unit, but it's going to be very nice to use to give us a chain boost, because on the previous team I showed you there was basically no chain, and also the X-Drake unit was not ready. His cooldown was far from being ready because he doesn't get his cooldown charged by the quest. So that was a huge error with this team, and so if you use that team with the X-Drake, you probably lost the match, unless you were at a super low nav level, in which case you might be able to waffle your way through. Unfortunately, Chopper is not a very accessible unit, but he gets around all the gimmicks that we need to. Unfortunately, he doesn't give us an attack boost, but we can always just use our K-Dad special if we do need one later on, so there's no worries there in terms of damage. Also, Chopper is a size slasher, so he's also going to be dealing a lot of damage with Zoro, which also really makes up for the lack of an attack boost. So very strong team. I'm very happy with it. We start off the chain at about 2.1x or 2x because there is a 1x chain boost from your Chopper. So not a very accessible replacement, but it definitely works. It gets the job done. K-Dad having super class and also Wano orbs is a very nice addition. Let's take a look at the final mini boss team, which is Who's Who. So Who's Who is going to be quick, and for this team I did make one change, which is I changed the bottom right unit to Zoro. Now the reason I did that was because previously it was just a stat stick unit there, which in that case I used Carrot and Wanda since they are a boosted dex slasher unit. But instead I'm using Zoro. He is still Dex Slasher, meaning he'll have access to the 1.5x color affinity from the Odin support. But the reason I use Zoro instead is because we need cooldown on stage 1. Unfortunately, Kuzan is not already on stage 1 if you do not have him, if you don't have a -2 cooldown ship. So in that case we need someone else to wave clear, in which case Zoro is a very good candidate. He's very fast and he's always going to be ready on stage 1 because he has that nice potential ability. Then final stage we can just use our Shanks for chain boundary. Goes very well with the chain boost we got from stage 2 Frankie, and with that it's just wraps and the boss is completely screwed. We have a starting chain of 4x, which is really nice. 2x attack and orb boost from Kuzan. So very nice team. Obviously 1 orbs. We have 2 attacking units. You can add Odin support for 1.5x color affinity. Very happy with that team. I think it's my best one. Maybe barring the Yamato team. The Yamato team is really nice. Let's take a look at the final boss team now. I actually haven't implemented the fact that I got the new Zoro Rare recruit, and he's actually a very nice unit, obviously, for this quest. Wait, no, I have implemented him. So Zoro is a very nice character. If you do pull him, I was lucky enough to get him, and also a dupe of the character, which is quite frustrating. I didn't show it on camera yet, but I did do a discount on another banner of the Sugo Fest, and I did get another dupe of the Zoro. So I was quite frustrated about that, but I mean, I'm still happy about it. It's pretty cool. Zoro is obviously the highest booster, so having him is very nice. To help me to get past Grand Line easier. Really don't feel like playing treasure map in this league. It's terrible. Here on stage 2, we're going to ignore the blindness and the burn. We're going to get rid of the enemy's resilience and use our X super of Luffy to ignore the barrier. We can just swap our Kid and Law, and from there just kill. We can ignore the barrier. The burn is 10k. I'm pretty sure it's much more intense in the New World League. Probably is around 20k if I'm not mistaken. But either way, it's not a threat with the amount of HP you will be having with this team. So the changes I made were quite drastic. I completely removed the Moria as well as the Blackbeard. So the points are much more optimal here. We have no boosters that are below 1.35x. I'll probably find a way to make this team usable with friend captain Zoro, since then I can get a lot more points. Zoro isn't a terrible friend captain either. He's a 3.5x, which is still usable to an extent. Also Grand Line League, there's not a lot of strong enemies, so no need to worry about that. This is completely overkill. I don't need this at this low nav level. In treasure map, you need to make sure that you are doing the least amount of work possible to make sure that you have the most amount of speed. So if you ever cannot use a special, then don't use it, unless you are completely slowed down if you don't use that special. But that's going to be it for my playthrough of the treasure map versus the lead performers, and going through my changes that I made to the teams. So that's going to be it for the video. If you have any questions about the teams or some replacements, ask them down below. If you want to see more content like this in the future and want to see the free-to-play teams I get uploaded as soon as possible, then make sure to subscribe for more content like this in the future, and also hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.